it's a sad case that we're aware of, not too far from us here. They just found out a few years ago that the man had another wife with children as big as them.
She discovered her husband was previously married but divorced with a child. But he claimed...
If you ask me, it's one of those gray areas. I will tell you. God has forgiven you. And, of course, lay a proper foundation.
There was a you before time began. If you are feeling extremely uncomfortable right now, I'm talking to you. Open vision. Lawrence Oyor was coming towards me.
Welcome to Chanting Chapel.
I'm tired of reading what I'm not experiencing. The original version of Lawrence Oyor. The eagle has been bound for too long.
May you not be under attack.
This must be my future.
Welcome to Chanting Chapel.
I have this question here. It says, "Good day, Pastor Lawrence and Pastor Darasimi Oyor. Thank you for this opportunity to ask questions anonymously without being shamed. I got born again in SS2. While in the university, got into a relationship with a brother who also said he was a Christian. We did Bible studies together. Also listened to a relationship messages and read books together."
What class?
While in the university, she met the brother, but she got born again in SS2. We got married while I was still in the university as a virgin. He was working outside the country at the time. After a while, she discovered her husband was previously married but divorced with a child. But he claimed it was for papers and was legally divorced. Shortly into their marriage, she discovered he was cheating with multiple women as they were living in different countries, pending when she graduated. They already had a child from the marriage. It caused a major rift in their marriage, and they tried to work it out, but after a while, he stopped calling and traveling down to visit. Then he would resume calling for a while, then stop for a longer while, months. I kept praying, fasting, reaching out to his folks who were of no help. The cycle continued for over 6 years. Then he stopped totally. After which, she decided to go for a divorce after 8 years. Now, my question is, I have read what the Bible says about divorce in Luke 16, verse 18, Matthew 5:32, 1 Corinthians 7, 10 to 15. I have realized my mistakes and things I took for granted and asking God for his mercy, grace, and seeking his leadership. Am I allowed to remarry from biblical perspective? Remarry. Yes, from biblical perspective. Anybody can answer question.
So, if I'm to advise you, so I lost you a little bit in the beginning where you were telling the story. I didn't know who was who when you were using the pronouns. You said the man began with falsehood, right? And so, according to law, the marriage was null and void in the first place. So, if you're dealing with law, according to your story, there was no marriage. There are certain grounds upon which there's no marriage. First one is falsehood. Second one is no consummation. I think there's probably one or two others like that. But anyways, so there was a first marriage. So your second marriage in the first place did not really exist. It's a very complicated story. Am I getting it right? The person was married before, right? We're saying the same thing now. He was married before. Get the point. This person she married was already married. So that's a falsehood. There was no marriage in the first place because there was already a marriage that, so it's basically what you call faulty foundation. Like there's no, but I mean, what do you expect her to prioritize? Her own marriage, right? Yeah. So we have some of those weird, it's a sad case that we're aware of, not too far from us. Yeah. They just found out a few years ago that the man had another wife with children as big as them. Yeah. So it's almost like, are we the yeah. So what do you expect them to do at that point? So it's sad that those things happen. If you ask me, it's one of those gray areas. I will tell you. If you are able to conclude whatever you have with this man and move on to something on a new foundation, go ahead and do that. Case closed.
Please, let's celebrate.
That's a very
Pastor.
summary answer so that we don't stress ourselves this night. All right? Because in the first place, you have a faulty foundation. If you want to go deep into the matter, you didn't even have a marriage in the first place. So how many sins do we want to forgive at this point? So you have asked for forgiveness of sins. God has forgiven you. And of course, lay a proper foundation. This time around, be mentored, be under leadership, and make it plain to whoever you're going to be going on with everything that's happened in the past, so that, before the eyes of the law and before the eyes of God, you're doing it with good conscience and all of that. And fire on. Because if you want to fight on the side of the one who he was with before, she doesn't want you to be married to this guy in the first place. You have, as it were, committed adultery with another man's wife. So you're asking question about divorce. That's not even the question you should be asking. You get what I'm saying, right? Yeah, that's many layers. So just end whatever needs to be ended, because it needs to be ended in a sense. And then trust God for. And if nothing else happens after that, it's okay. It's really okay. Marriage is not the end of your life. So if nothing else happens after that, fulfill purpose. That's what I'm trusting God will be able to land on today. Because several people have made it an idol. There's no purpose being fulfilled in all those years, and you're concerned about whether you should start or should end or should move to the next. Like, have you found yourself? If you found yourself, you might probably not even be in the mess we're referring to right now. So find yourself, focus on that before even thinking of the next one. But Jesus Christ will forgive you. And when you have found yourself, then you can now find the one who is going to be fitting for that purpose that you have found. Or else it's another cycle again of problem. Go ahead now. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
It's a deep question.